Hello, welcome back to Cracking the Cryptic, and yeah, this is by Sunny Jam. Now, there has been a puzzle by Sunny Jam on the channel before, but he did it himself. Now, if you haven't seen this video, but it's on the channel under the title, Who is this guy and what did he do with Simon? If you haven't seen that, but you have seen any other video Simon's ever done, or that we've had on the channel, you will love it. This video by Sunny Jam is fantastic, and it is well worth a look. It is the most amusing thing we've put out in a long time. Thank you so much to Sunny Jam. And now Sunny Jam has written to us and said that having kind of shortcut the whole getting selected system, he'd like to send us a genuine puzzle with a proper logical solution and let us have a go at it on the channel. So he sent us this one called Farsight. It's got an intriguing rule set. I don't know how this is going to play out at all, but it looks very interesting and I'm going to give it a go. So do check it out. Now, there's loads of other things to do with the channel, as well as that brilliant parody video. There's also our Patreon site, where we are on the 1st of each month launching a new puzzle hunt, and there is, of course, one coming up next month, as always. It's going to be fabulous. Check it out. Join us on Patreon and check it out. If you join at the $3 a month level, you will get to see solution videos for the competition puzzles we put out, and those are many videos that are there to the $3 Patreons. Also, of course, our apps are available. Check out the link, especially the CTC app, which, I mean, all the apps are brilliant, actually. There's a lot of real quality content amongst them, but the CTC app has a couple of free packs, Prasanna's 7 introductory puzzles and the 500k celebration puzzles. They are brilliant, but also there are paid packs, the Domino, Sudoku, and the Gas app as well. So Gas is genuinely approachable Sudoku, really quite straightforward puzzles that introduce you to the various constraints. They're brilliant. So check it all out. Now let's have a go at the rules of this puzzle and try and understand what it's asking us to do. So normal Sudoku rules apply. So that's the digits 1 to 9 in every row, every column, and every 3x3 box. Digits on a circle, a grey circle, are odd. A digit in a cage sees one or more consecutive digits exactly n cells away from itself in the same row or column where n equals the digit in the caged cell. Now think through the words of that, but there is an example. For example, a caged 4 must see a 3 or 5 exactly 4 cells away from it. So imagine this digit was a 4. It must see a 3 or a 5 either there, that's 4 cells north, there 4 cells south, there 4 cells east. There is no place 4 cells west because that's outside the grid. So one of these 3 highlighted digits at least must be a 3 or a 5 if that's a 4. So that's the rule set. It doesn't to me seem very limiting, which is rather awe-inspiring, makes me very worried. So those are the rules though, that's all we get. Do give it a try on the first link under the video. I'm going to start now. Let's get cracking. That's weird, isn't it? What the heck? I suppose the big numbers are difficult. Oh, 9. 9 can never go. 9 can never go in a cage, because if you put a 9 even here, 9 cells away is outside the grid to the south or to the west. So 9 is not in a cage, and look at column 4. That is telling us where 9 is. It's there. And then in box 5, look, 9 can't be in the cages for the reason we just discussed. And by Sudoku, it can't be in those cells. So we get another 1 and there in row 4 as a result. And we've got 3 9s. Now there must be one in one of these 2 cells. And there we run out of power. No, well, there must be one in those 3, but that's not, doesn't look useful. So it would be much more useful to get a digit in a cage, wouldn't it? But, okay, well, what about 8s? That must be the natural next thing to look at. So where's the 8? Oops, in this column. It's in a cage. That we know. it must be at the end, because 8 in this column cannot look sideways. It can't look east or west because it'll look outside the grid. So it must look north or south, 8 cells all the way from one perimeter to the other, and it must therefore not be looking at a 9 because we've used the 9 in the column. It must be looking at a 7. So we have a sort of weird pair. And then the 7 is going to be in a cage. And it's going to be looking either 7 cells north to there or 7 cells south to here. And it can't see an 8 there. It's going to see a different consecutive digit, which must be a 6. So there's a 6 in one of those two. Is this going to just bounce up and down? The 6, yeah, I think it is. A bit, at least. Okay, we're going to run out after the 6. But the 6 can't look laterally. That's only 5 cells. So the 6 must look north-south as well. So if that's a 6, it's seeing a consecutive digit here, which would have to be a 5. If that's a 6, its consecutive digit is here, which would have to be a 5. Now, it's possible that these relations continue to bounce up and down. But that 5, if that was a 5, that could actually be seeing a consecutive digit horizontally. So I don't think we can draw the same conclusions. But in that column alone, we got 8 and 7 as a pair. We got a 6 in one of those two. I am pencil marking across boxes, which I don't like to do, but I'm going to try and remember these are pencil marks relevant to the column. Now, this looks the next most populous column, doesn't it? It's these two non-caged cells, though, that give us pause. Where is 8 in this column? We know 9's in one of these two cells. Where's 8? Well, it could be, again, in one of those two cells and not doing a job of looking up and down, I suppose. But it can't be in any of these cells or that one. So it's either there or in one of these two. These are sort of the conditions for a sky. Oh, well, it's not here. That's an odd. Oh, so it is in one of these two. I was going to say the conditions for a skyscraper, but I don't really know what I'm talking about if I start talking about that. So there is an 8 in one of these two. So this is a weird 8 X-wing. There must be an 8 in one of these two cells in column 6. There must be an 8 in one of these two cells in column 4. And that's going to use up all the 8s for rows 1 and 9 as well, because there's only 2 in those. Now, if there's an 8 in one of these, then again, yeah, same deal. There must be a 7 at the ends. Is that right? Yes, there isn't. No, it's not right down here, because that's not in a cage. If there's an 8 here, there's a 7 here. But an 8 here doesn't say anything about 7. Well, except it does. If there's an 8 here, then this is definitely 9. And now 7 must be in a cage in the column. And it must be looking north or south. So it would have to be either here, well, or where up here? Not here, because that, oh no, it could be there. If that was 8, 7 would be looking at a consecutive digit. So 7 could be there. So I don't really understand. Well, no, let's keep thinking. What have I said about 7? Does it have to be in a cage? No, this could be 7. That would be 9. This would be where 8 was. I think that's right. I don't think we can do more. Now, I was planning to look at 9 in this row. I haven't done that. Let me just try and think about 9 in this row. Obviously, it could be on that blob or there, I think. Those are where 9 goes, in one of those cells. Now, if 9 went there, where would the 8 go in the row? I think it would have to be here looking at that 9. perfectly legitimately. Okay, well, I may have run out of useful things to do. This row, if 8 is in a cage, it's there. 8 is an X-wing here, isn't it? So 8 is definitely in one of these 3 cells. That's interesting. If 8 is in a cage in this row, i.e. not there, then it must be here with a 7 over here. That would be looking at this cell and making it a 6. Wow, this does keep bouncing. That would be looking at this cell, making it a 5. And there we get stuck. Then those would be 1, 2, 3, 4, and that's possible. I don't know. I don't know what we're meant to be thinking about this. Did I miss a trick in this column? 8. Something about 8 and 7. They can't both. They can't be 8. If that's 8, that's 9. Then 7. I think it has to be here in the column. Oh no, that's not true. No, I don't know. I think I did the thinking about that. What's going on, guys? Is it to do with this? One of these is 6 and one of these is 5. Oh, hang on. I've been looking at this central box the wrong way round, in a way. Well, I mean, I haven't, but there is another way you can look at it, I think. Oh, for goodness sake, this is so blindingly obvious when you think about it. Where does 6, 7 and 8 go in this box? They cannot go in a cell here, because that can only see 5 cells to the perimeter, any direction maximum. That one's even more limited. Well, again, it's 5 that way. None of these can hold 6, 7 or 8 at all. That's a triple here. That's so weird. I've been thinking about specific columns and not about generic boxes, I suppose. Now, where does 5 go? 5, it could go there with, no, I don't know. Okay. 6, 7, 8 are there. 9's in one of, now, one of these is 6. There's a 6 there. So one of these is a 6 and is looking, it can't be there, can it? No, it could. Oh, I don't know. Okay, but this has become 6, 7 or 8. Is that interesting in this row? Yeah, where does 8 go in the row again? It can go here. If it's not there, it could go here, and that would be 7. And then this would be 6. So unless, if this is not 8... Oh, hang on. I don't think this would work at all. If that is 8... If that's 8... That's 7. That's looking at this cell, and that has to be a 6. And then you've got 8, 7, 6 in the row, and this is impossible. This is the only other place 8 could go in the row, so it doesn't go here, or you're going to break this cell in 4 moves. That's fantastic. That's so clever. So this is 8 in the end. Now, can we do anything about 7 and... I mean, we don't have as many cages in the rows, so maybe we cannot... Well, if that was 8... Oh, I don't know, this is doing my head in already. No, let's think about this row instead. Let's think about this row. Where does 7 go? I don't know, no, it's not that useful. It could be in any of those cells, looking at 6 in another cell. And I do think we're going to get this Tigger bouncing effect, boing, 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 boing. 7 there would put 6 there, would put 5 there, would put, well, then it would run out, because that could be looking at a cell there, as well as that one. Ah, it's so strange. Right, 8, 6, 7 here. Is that any use? Or do I need to look at this row? I feel that 8's got to be in one of these positions, but if that was 8, which is possible, it would be looking at a 7 here. And that's okay, because that 7 doesn't have to look at anything. It can see a 6 in the center. This is so strange. It's such an odd puzzle. No, come on. 7 is in this row. It's somewhere in this row. It's not in those cells. There is a 7 in this row, and it is looking at a 6. And the 6 in the row is looking at a 5. So I don't think the 7, it can't be here, because the 6 would be here, and then the 5 would have to be here, which it can't be. So that's not a 7. So actually, let's just start with those. This is probably not enough. 7, no, that can't be 7. This one would need a 6 here on an odd circle. That is not a 7. So it's either 7 here with 6 here, and then that looks back to this cell, which would have to be a 5, or it's 7 here, looking at that cell being a 6. Sorry, that cell only being a 6, which would then have to look back at this cell being a 5. And this has to happen either one way round or the other. So we always end up with a 7 in one of those, and this is now a 5-6 pair. That is absolutely peculiar. And it ends up that these 3 cells and one of the perimeter ones are 1, 2, 3, and 4. Oh, but there's a 5 has now been ruled out of those 2 cells because of the 5-6 pair. We worked out, I think, that 5 can't be in these cells because they can't see any cell within 5. So 5 in the central box has suddenly been placed and is in a cage and is looking either at that cell to be a 6 or a 4 or that one. Oh, no, I want to say this one can't be, but I don't know that. So these are now 1, 2, 3, or 4. Pencil marking them, now we're down to 4 possibilities. You know my nickname. Now, has that done anything to this column, which was trying not to be helpful earlier? Let's see if it's a little bit more recalcitrant. We know that 9's in one of those cells. We know that 8 is in one of those. Now, we don't know that 7 is there. Oh no, hang on. 7 can't be here, because that would make that 9 and this 8. Oh no, it can be there. Oh, bother. Probably is. There's not many other places 7 could be. It could be there, and again this would be, well, 8 or 6. Ah, this column is just misleading me, annoyingly. I don't know what's going on. We've got 8, 7, 6 there. We've got a 9 up here. Ooh, what do we know about this 5 then? 5 must be in one of these cells. That doesn't do anything. I mean, I don't think even that actually. No, this, well, even that could be a 5 with a 4 there. So This 5 must see a 4 or a 6 either there or there. I haven't really focused on that at all. Probably because it doesn't help. What's going on? I'm not really getting this puzzle at all. It's clever though. 9, 5, 6. If that was 7, you'd go 6, 5. Then it branches off into the north-south. I don't know. I feel I'm just... Oh, this column. This row, I mean. Row 7. I have not looked at that properly. I mean, a 6 here could go north. So it's 9, 8 and 7 that seem the most interesting digits. Now, 8 can't be on those odd circles. So 8 either has to be here, effectively doing nothing, which would definitely put 9 here. We now know that 9 can't be there. So 9's in one of those 2 cells in the row. 8 is either here or here. If it's here, that is then 9 or 7 by virtue of the rule. But if 8 is here, it's just not telling us anything about the row. Although 7 has to be in the row somewhere, but could be on the spare dot. It's not. This isn't the row. I don't know what is the row. I don't know what I'm meant to be finding out at all here. Oh gosh, golly gosh, look at that 8 X-wing. Let's colour it, because I have not been observing something about it. One thing about it is that it is ruling out those 2 cells from being 8s. That, my friends, is very interesting, because these are all either circles or cages, and as cages they are never on the perimeter, so they're not 8 cells away from another cage. So the only place for 8 in this row is right here. Now, that can't be an 8. Again, not close enough to the perimeter, so that's an 8. That is looking at this cell, which has to be a 7, and we're away now. Somehow we've got going from this column, which looked so innocuous. That's not a 7, so the 7 in the row 4 is there. That pushes, now we bounce across to the 6, and like Tigger we bounce back to a 5 there. There's a 5 in one of these 2 cells. It could be here if that was a 4. These are from 1, 2, 3, 4. Well, not that. 1, 2 or 3. Oh, and actually, that can be a 4. Can this be a 4? It's looking, I suppose it could. 1, 2, oh, easily. It would actually see a 5 there. That almost certainly is a 4. I don't know. Okay, but we've got 7, 5. Oh, I should actually start. Okay, let's get rid of that X-wing. I probably... Oh no, hang on, let's not. Let's keep thinking about the X-wing on 8s. What I'm going to do soon is mark off the cells, the caged cells that are already seeing their partners in crime. I think one of these 2 has to be an 8. These 2 aren't close enough to the perimeter to be. So one of those is 8, because remember, one of these 2 is, so those can't be. Now, one of these 3 is 8. It's not the odd, it's not there, it's here. That is looking at this cell, which can't be a 7, and is a 9. That is not 9. The 9 in this column is now down here in the 8 X-wing, fixing the 8 X-wing and making that a 7. And that deals with those colours. Now, what colours shall we use? Let's use green if the cells are C. So we've filled in quite a lot of cages. That's 7. Ah, no. Okay, that is going to look down to this cell, which has to be 6. This is the Tigger stuff. That looks up to that cell, which has to be 5. And get rid of the pencil marks. Right, this 7 sees its 6 down there. This 8 sees 9 down there, so that's done. This 8 sees 7 up there, so that's done. This 6 sees the 5, so that's done. This 7 sees a 6, yes. This 5 is looking there or there. Right, we have to have a 4 or a 6 there. And with that marked, I'm going to green that, as long as I respect that pencil mark. This 8 is seeing a 7. This 6 is seeing a 5. This 5 is seeing a 6. No. No, I've put this 5... Oh, that's bad. I think I've put this in the wrong place. If we look 6 cells up from that, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's putting a 5 here. I'm very sorry. That is bad pencil marking. What I should have done, I think, is made those a 6-5 pair in the earlier pencil marking. But at least I've spotted it. Right, 5 is either looking there or there for a 4 or a 6. I don't know. This 5 is looking, 8 there. That's no good. So it must find its counterpart here, which is a 4 or a 6. So I can green that if I respect the pencil mark. This 8 has got its partner 9. Now, in this row, well, 7 might not be difficult to hide in one of those, but it could even be there looking at an 8. It can't be here. Okay, I'm going to ask the next interesting question. Where does 6 go in this row? Not here because of that 6. Not on the blobs because they're odd. Not there because of this 6. So 6 is in one of these two cells. Oh, if it was there, it could look up here. And it's in one of those two cells. Let's get my count right this time. Oh, that one. I see, that one's looking at the 8. So that would have to have a 5 up here. This one, which couldn't have a 5 or 7 up here, could be looking there. That's frustrating. Okay. I thought I was good. Oh, there's a 6 in one of these two cells. That fixes this pencil mark. That's become a 4. Okay, now that's not in a cage. There's a 5 in one of these. Now, 5's not a very high digit, but too high in this column to look left or right, because it's still looking outside the grid. So this 5 is looking 5 cells up. It's going to have to find it can't find a 6, they're not far enough away. It's going to find a 4 in one of those two cells, and it's not going to be that one, which is looking at the 8. So 5's in one of those, 4's in one of those, but the 4's could be looking into those places as well as here or here, so I can't really do much more with that. 7, 7. One of these two is a 7. That could be a 7 and it's already fulfilled. This could be a 7 because it's odd. That doesn't really get us far. 6 there, 6 there. One of these is a 6. They can't be looking left or right because it's too far. So they're looking down. If that's a 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, it's looking at that cell. That's no good. That is not a 6. 6 is here. 6 is looking down at this cell, which can't be 5, so it must be 7. There we go. We found the 7. That 6 is done. This 5 is not done. Ooh, but can't see a 6 in either of those positions. So it must see a 4 in one of them, but I'm not comfortable pencil marking that across huge, vast range of tundra. Now, this is odd and is 1 or 3 now. Surprisingly, this is also, well, I was going to write 1, 2, 3 or 4, but there's a 4 in one of those. So in this column, one of these two is a 4 and those aren't. So in this column, that can't be a 4, again, because there's a 4 in one of those two. So the 4 has to be here, in a weird cage down here, which is looking at that cell or that cell for a 3 or a 5. This 5 has now found a partner. Okay, so that 5 is done. This is a 1, 2, or a 3. There's a 4 in one of these now. I don't think this can be a 4. Yes, it can. That's a 5, so it can. Oh, this one can't. Look, that is looking at 8, 9 and 9. That's not allowed to be a 4. So we found the 4 in the central box by some bizarre process of deduction, and it's looking at that 5, which was looking at that 4. This 4 doesn't change anything about what this 5 is looking at. Was it that one? Oh, that needed a 4 here or here, and it's found one now. Oh, I've marked it off. That's okay. Forget what I'm talking about. I don't know. That can't be a 4. This is 1, 2, or 3. Oh, 7 there has fixed this. 6 and 7. Now, 7, 5, 8, 9. What's going on in... Oh, one of these is a 5. Can that be a 5? Can't go north or south. 1, 2, 3, 4. It would need a 4 here. I don't know. Looks like it can work. One of those is a 2, 4, 6, 8, 7, 9. This is 1, 2, or 3. These are from 1, 2, 3, or 5. Now, one of these has got to be a 1. Oh no, it could be there. This is 1, 2, or 3. Oh, one of these is a 2. Definitely. And one of them is a 5. But one of them is a 2, and that's more important because it rules 2 out of those and makes sure one of these is definitely a 2. But they could be looking south, and they must be, whichever one is a 2 must be accommodated by the digit 2 cells below it. I don't know, these low numbers look so fiddly as though they can never help, but I suspect that is a red herring, that maybe they are meant to help in some way. There are some other odd caged set. These two are in an important row. Where's 7 in this row? Come on. Do we know yet? It could still be there, answered by that 8, and it could be in the blob. I suspect it can't be anywhere else. Yeah, that can't be a 7. So 7 in the row has to be in one of those two. I'm still not going to pencil mark that because I'm not sure it helps. 9 is in one of those 2 cells. Hadn't noticed that. One of those 3. Can't be in a cage. I don't know. That's not that useful. 8 is in one of those 2. Yeah, there might be some just regular sudoku to do here, of course. That this is 1, 2, 3, or 4 because it sees all the high digits. So does this. And there needs to be a 5 in one of these, but... And 4 and 5, yeah, where is... Okay, wherever 5 is here... Ah, look, I don't think this can be a 5 at all. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's looking at a 9. Oh, it's not in a cage. Ugh. Come on, think about it. What's going on? Oh. Oh. One of these is a 2, and suddenly I don't think either of them... Ah. Neither of them can be a 1 that's satisfied horizontally. Because if you made that a 1, that's a 2. And then the 2 that this would need to see, 1 cell away, would be here. But that is possible. No. Is it possible? Wow, it's weird. That would be a... This can't be a 2. Look at that. This can't be a 2. The cells it's seeing are those which are not consecutive with a 2. That is 1 or 3. So we've got a weird 2 X-wing. In columns 4 and 6, 2 have to be in those positions. Therefore, in rows 3 and 5, that's where 2s are. So there's no 2s in these. Can that be a 3? That's seeing that cell, that cell. Yes, it can. It sees a 4. Probably is a 3. Oh, no, this is brilliant. I don't think either of these can be a 1 now. If that was a 1, that's a 2. And then this can't see a 2 one cell away. If that's a 1, that's a 2, but this is a 3. So it's never going to pick up its 2. So that is now a 2-3 pair. An absolutely brilliant, remarkable and astonishing 2-3 pair. This is a 1-4-9 triple where the top one can't be 4. Because of the 5 that we had down there. 1 has come out of these cells and gone into the blob. 7 was difficult in here, wasn't it? Oh no, it can still be there or there. No. Oh no. Yes, 7 can still be there. I was just thinking this can't be 6, but it's 8. Right, come on. There's probably still the same kind of logic going on here, and I'm just missing it now. Is it to do with 2s and 1s? If that was a 3... Yeah, look, if this was a 3, that would make this a 2 and this would be a 1, but that couldn't be touching a 2 in any of those cells. Oh, that's so weird. Again, it is exactly the same logic reaching across this box. So that's not a 3, that's a 1. This is a 2-3 pair. We can take 3 out of these cells. Now this can't be a 1 because it could never touch a 2. So that's 4 or 5. If it's a 5... that's going to need that to be a 4. So now 4 is in one of those 2 cells, because if it's not a 5, it's a 4. So 4's not there. Yeah, this could be a 1 with a 2 here, or indeed here. Actually, that can't be a 1 now. That can't be a 1, and it's odd. How have I ever left a 2 as a candidate there? We've finished a row. That does nothing else. This 1 has been fulfilled. It sees the 2. The 2 needs to see a 1 or a 3, which obviously isn't laterally, so it's up or down. I don't know. The 3 sees a 4 there, so that's done. Now, one of these is... oh, this can't... yes, it could be a 2 if it was looking at a 4. That's so annoying. Oh no, that won't work. That's beautiful. Oh no, it will. It will. I was going to say, if that was a 2, that's a 4. This is a 1. And now it can't touch a 2 on its right. But it's already touching a 2 above. So, a useless conclusion. Now, can this be a 5? Yes. Whichever one of these is a 5 is getting a 4 up here, isn't it? So interesting, this. I mean, it really is fascinating. There's a 2 in one of these 2 cells, but I don't think that's worth marking. Let's just keep thinking about this middle row. How could that be a 3? That would need a 4 there, because otherwise it's looking at 6, 7, and 7. So if that's a 3, we get a 4 here. If this is a 3, oh, this can't be a 3 at all. It sees 6, 8, 5, and 1 or 5. That can't be 3. It's just a vicious elimination. Right, 2 there, 3 there. That needs a 4 here, I believe. Or first of all, it fixes 2 and 3 there. I've got loads of things to fill in. This 3, let's just check that. 7, 7, 6. Yes, it needs a 4 there. And it is fulfilled. The 2 is fulfilled because it sees a 3 below. This 3, sees a 9 there. It needs to see a 4 in one of those 2 positions. And therefore, there's no 4 here. Wow. Okay, that fixes 4 in this box, which is there because 5 is looking 5 cells away from here. That 5 is fulfilled. This 3 is not yet fulfilled. It's going to need to see a 4 in one of those 2 positions. I'm going to risk marking that, even though I might misunderstand myself. That 2 sees a 3, that's done. This 4, well, it's by sudoku, it's turned those. Now, it's no good looking there, so the 4 is going to need to see a 3 or a 5 at the top or bottom. I don't know how to mark that. However, I do know what the 4 does to that cell. It makes it a 6, with a 1, 3 there and a 2, 4 over here. Okay. That can't be 5. So let's get rid of these pencil marks as well. 2 and a 3 here. Are they... That, if it was a 3, would look straight there. This 2, whatever that is, it is answered. That has solved it. This 4 needs to find a 3 or a 5 at the top or bottom. This 5 has found the 4 there, so that's okay. Now, we haven't got much done in this crazy row 7, which seemed to be so promising. This cell is 3, 6, or 7 by Sudoku. I think 7 is too big to be in a cage here. It's looking outside the grid. 6 would need to see a 5 there. 3 would already be seeing a 2 there. This one, 2, 3, 6, or 7. 7 would be answered by an 8 there. The 6 would need... Well, it would need a 7 here because it can't have a 5 or 7 up here. Ah, and one of these is a 6. So, if that's a 3, this is a 6, then that's got to be 7 and that's got to be 2. 7 and 2. If this is a 6, no, if this is a 6 instead, then it needs to see a 5 up here. Okay, that's not so useful. This actually is odd and sees 1, 5 and 9, so it's only 3 or 7. Let's have a quick look at this. 9, 4, 5, 1, 8, 6. 2, 3 or 7. 7 doesn't work because it's looking at that cell. 2 does work. Does 3 doesn't work here, I don't think. It sees a 6 and a 5 and outside the grid. That is a 2. That's the one we should have focused on. Madness, because it's already fulfilled. Right, this is not a 2. Oh, and I'm left with 3, 6 and 7. That's really annoying. Okay, what about this? Can't be 5, 4, 6, 2, 8. Oh, it could be 1. 3 would be fulfilled already. 7 and, well, it can't be 9 because 9's never in a cage. I don't think this can actually be 7 because it would be looking at those 2 cells and neither of them can be 8 or 6 for different reasons. So that is 1 or 3. If it's a 1, it has a 2 in one of these cells, which it might well do. Oh, this can't be 4 anymore. I don't think we've got any more in... Oh, no, we do. It can't be a 3 either, because that's seeing a 5 and an 8 only. That is 1 or 2. Yeah, it is helpful when they're near the edges. I mean, I must try and remember some of this stuff. 2 and 3 here. If that was a 2, that or that is a 1 or a 3. If that's a 3... Well, it can't be looking there for a 2 or a 4, or there. If that's a 3, we've definitely got a 2 here. So the 2 in this row is in one of those 2 places, which doesn't feel quite helpful enough. Just by Sudoku. That's 1, 4 or 5. These are from 1, 2, 3, 5. Oh, we're very near a sort of big breakthrough, aren't we? This can't be 3, 7 or 8. I think there's a lot of possibilities that it can be, though. No, what am I meant to be looking at now? 4 is in one of those 2 cells. 9's somewhere up there. Oh, this 3, we have not established where that's looking for a 4, have we? It's in one of those 2. Now, I'd forgotten that. This 4 has got a 3 above. This 7 has got an 8 at the top. I should have marked that ages ago. This 4 is going to find either a 3 or a 5 at the top or bottom of the grid. I'm just coming back to the same questions again and again now. I'm quite glad I've done the marking off of cells though that have found their thing, otherwise I'd be just repeating that process again and again in my head. 6, 5, 8, 2. That's odd. They're odd. Where does 4 go in this column? It goes up here at the top because it's ruled out of the bottom by that 4. 4 is in fact in one of those two and is forming an X-wing, so I could have told that ages ago. We get a 4 here. That's the 4 that 3 needed to see, so that's not a 4. Yes, okay. That tidies up a pencil mark without actually doing a lot of damage to the puzzle. Now, if this was a 2, it would need a 1 or a 3 here. If it was a 1, it needs a 2 next to it. So the 2 in this box is definitely in one of those positions. Is that telling me more than I can see? Probably is. That's 1, 7 or 9. This is odd as well. Yeah, that's how we got here, isn't it? That's 1, 3 or 7. That is also odd too. And this is odd. So these are 3 odds. 4 is in one of those. 6 must be in one of these 2 cells. Could have identified that ages ago, but I don't think it does a lot of help. Now, we're beginning to see the fruits of our labours here somewhere. 3 there would definitely need a 2 right here. What are the consequences of that? 2, 8, 3. I do not know. It does come down to sudoku. Oh look, there's a... No, I was going to say there's a 7 in one of those 2 cells, but it could be in Mr. Blobby there. 3 or 9. This 2, 3 pair, is that trying to tell me something? This 4 needs a 3 or a 5 at the top or the bottom. That just is 4 possibilities, which is far too many to juggle with, even for a master juggler, which I'm not. Okay, let's have a look at this. Can't be 4, 3, 7 or 8. 9 can't be in a box. It cannot, it could be 5 if that was a 4. It could be 1 if that was a 2. It could be 2 if that was a 1 or that was a 3. It's doing nothing. It's the last cage that I've done nothing with and it's not helping. Right, 2 there would need 1 or 3 here. That would form an interesting pair in the row. I want to know if that really means anything. That would be 9. But 1 here would just need a 2 next to it somehow. I'm really struggling now. Okay, let's have a look at this again. If that was a 6, it needs a 5 right here. If that's a 6, have I been miscounting this throughout? I have, haven't I? That's it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It hits this, which is a 2. That is not a 6. Because it hits that, which can't be a 5 or a 7 to the north, and it hits that, which isn't that side. It's that simple, honestly. You get so hornswoggled by the puzzle that you think it's doing something cleverer than it is. Right, that 6 goes green when we put a 5 in at the top here, so that's not a 5 now. Also, yeah, no, that could be a 6 because it will hit that. Okay, not to worry. This is 3 or 7, but it's not 3 because that 3 is seeing 2 5s. That's a 7 seeing the 8 over here. and it's done. And that is a 3 in the circle. These aren't 3s. The 3 in this column is up here, which is satisfied by that 4. But didn't that do something? If that was a 2, oh, okay, this is weird. If this is a 1, then there's a 2 in one of those. If that's a 2, though, you're going to have a 1 here now. So 1 must now be in one of those 2 cells and is not here. 5, 4, 6, 3. Oh, this can't be a 5 in the corner. Could still be a 3 in the corner. One of these definitely is a 5. One of these 2 is a 5. Hadn't seen that before. This could be a 1. Yeah, it could. 1, 2, 1, 2. It can still be a 1. Can it be a 2? It would need a 1 here. So maddening. These 2s and 3s, nothing. 2 there, can't see a 1 or a 3 here. So if that was a 2, it would see a 1 or a 3 here. If it was a 3, it would see a 4 or a 2 here. Okay, this is weird. So if it's a 3, it sees a 2 here. I think I've observed that before. So those are the only places for 2 in the row, and that's not a 2. However, if it's a 2, we now know it sees a 1 or a 3 right here. And much good may that do me. Right on the cusp of finishing this and absolutely stuck at the same time. It's so weird. How can you be so close to a finish and so completely stuck? Right, let's just keep working on it. 3 there, 3 there. One of these 2 is a 3. 2 and 1. It's all bound up in these cells. 2, 3, 4, 5. So maybe think about 7. 7 is in one of those 2. 6, 8, 9. Ooh, 6 is in one of those 2. I hadn't noticed that before. 8 could be anywhere here. 9 is in one of these 2. This is a 7-9 pair. Oh my goodness, that's going to do it. That is going to do it. Is this right? Really true? 9 and 7. Yeah, look, they're a sort of jointed X-wing. Oh, that's a 7-9 pair. So that's 1 or 3. This is 8. Gosh, it takes a long time to unwind these sometimes, doesn't it? Now, that 8 means this can't be a 2 because it would see 7, 8 and something that's not 1 or 3. So that's a 3. That's a 2. That's fulfilled by whatever that is on its left. Don't worry about that. This 3 needs to see a 2 or a 4 in one of those positions. That's got to be a 2 over here. There we go. So that 3 is fulfilled now. This 4, it's fulfilled by the 5 that we've got at the top. Just got a couple of high ones to go. Never mind. Let's just focus on what we've got. 4, 2, 7, 9, 5. 8 and 8 is in one of these cells, and 6. Now, this becoming not 1 was important for some reason. That means this can't be a 2. That's what it means. Yeah, this is a 1. They're not. The 1 in this box is there. That's 3 and 1 resolved. This 1 needs to see a 2 that now has to be here because it can't be there, and that's fulfilled. This can't be a 2. It can still be a 1 or a 6. Okay, never mind. 3, 8, 6 are a triple here, so we can put the 8 in there, and then we've got a 3, 6 pair surrounding them. That's not a 2. Actually, we can fill in 3 and 5 down here. 4, naked single there. This is 1 or 9. 4, 1, 9. 5, 7, 6 down here. That's a naked 7. flanked by a 5 and 6. That is not 7, so it's 1 or 9, which is a pair with that. We get a 7. We've got a 7 and 2 in this row. This could be either for the square to be fulfilled, but 4 and 2 there. That's a naked 6. Now we get 1 in the corner, which is obeyed by this 2, but it's also going to do some sudoku. And boxes 1 and 2 are finished. That's a 9, 5, 8. Just box 9 to go. 5, 6, 9, and a 1 here. There we go. Wow, that took a while. Not quite as long as that timer, I think, but still. What a brilliant idea. What a fascinatingly fierce puzzle. Fierce Fighting Farsight by Sunnyjum. Thank you very much, Sunnyjum, for your video and for your puzzle. That was great fun. And thank you for watching. Hope to see you again soon on the channel. Bye for now.